In this video, I'll be assuming two things. One, that Monster Hunter World was your first Monster Hunter, or you're just not completely familiar with everything that Generations and now Generations Ultimate will offer. And two, that you're probably well versed in the weapon that I'll be discussing, so this won't be a full-on guide, but rather a quick summary on the differences between the weapons in the two games.
What's the difference?
Hey guys, what's up? Right now I'm going to be talking about the dual blades. Now the dual blades in Monster Hunter World stayed relatively unchanged from its previous versions. In terms of playstyle and what you have to do with the weapons, the dual blades stayed pretty much the same. And because of this, I think you'll have an easy time switching back and forth between World and Generations Ultimate. Let's briefly talk about some of the new things the dual blades got. You'll find that this list is pretty short because the weapon was already pretty good at doing what it had to do. One nice addition was the ability for the dual blades to move side to side while doing the basic combo. This is useful as you can loop it over and over again to continuously do damage, but you won't have to commit to a longer combo like the Demon Dance, and this is good in case you think the monster is going to move soon or attack you, and that way you won't be stuck in an animation and you can just move. Dual blades has always been good at putting in damage without needing to commit for too long or put themselves in a dangerous spot, and World kinda just added a little bit more to that idea. The dual blades got a couple more aerial options. Probably the funnest and coolest one is the Beyblade Attack on Titan type move that we got. Overall changes in World that they did for all of the weapons, such as smoother animations and more movement options and being able to dodge backwards, integrate really nicely with the dual blades. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. Now let's talk about the dual blades in Generations Ultimate. The main thing here is that the focus of what you want to do is going to be kind of split amongst the different styles. So Guild is not bad, but it's pretty much obsolete because of Striker. The only thing that Striker style loses is the ability to go into Archdemon mode, so you'll always need to use a Mega Dash shoes. But that's honestly not much of a drawback because it's pretty easy to make them, and what you do gain is more damage on your attacks and 3 arts, and dual blades is another weapon that has really good arts that you want to be bringing. Striker style also lets you evade right after the Demon Dance, which lets you play a little bit more aggressive. For that reason, Striker is going to be a very popular style that you see people using in general and in speedruns. Then there's aerial style. If more of a supportive role and just mounting is kind of your thing, then aerial dual blades is very fun. It looks really cool and it's very flashy and does a really good job at not only mounting, but doing a good amount of elemental damage as well, since you do a lot of attacks on your way up and down. It also feels really good to dodge attacks with aerial dual blades. Next we have Adept, which was very popular in Generations. Adept dual blades dodges is a little bit different than the other weapons, as you do a counter attack when you do the Adept dodge itself. This is one of the strongest styles along with Striker in Generations, although here in Generations Ultimate it received a little bit of a motion value nerf in the spin to win attack, so just keep that in mind. Brave is another really popular one, and also really fun. Once you get into Brave mode, you're going to have all the attacks that you like, but you also get this new guard point, which not only looks really cool, but every time you do one successfully, it sharpens your dual blades, which works perfectly with the weapon. Thanks to its Demon Dance into spin to win combo, Brave dual blades can put out the most attacks in the smallest amount of time, which makes it a very popular pick if you're going for a full elemental type build. By the way, if you liked the Naruto run for dual blades when you're in demon mode, don't worry, because Brave dual blades still has that for you. And lastly, Alchemy Stylus.
Do a barrel roll!
It's pretty much just like Guild style dual blades, except you can do SP support for your team. Lastly, let's talk about those hunter arts. So probably the most popular one is Wolf's Maw. You'll see this in almost every speedrun. What it does is that every time you hit with your dual blades, you'll essentially hit a second time, although it'll only be 30% of the damage of the original attack. That being said, it's really strong in general, but it's also really good if the focus of your fight is just doing a lot of elemental damage. The other one is Bloodwind, which is kind of like a spinning top. It's not bad and does a lot of damage as well, but the only problem with it is that it kind of moves you around a lot, so unless the monster is downed, you might accidentally spin away from the part that you want to hit, so just keep that in mind. The other hunter art is Aerial Slam. For it to even work, you have to be doing it off of a ledge or cliff. It does a pretty good amount of damage, but because of how situational it is, you really won't see it that much. And the newest art that Generations Ultimate is adding is the Spiral Rend. You basically turn yourself into a human drill. Now this attack is very strong, but the main thing you want to keep in mind is that it only works on weak spots. If you don't hit a weak spot, the attack will just not happen, you'll just kind of fly right through. Overall, I think if you enjoy dual blades and Monster Hunter World, then I think you'll have plenty of fun in Generations Ultimate. And as I mentioned before, I think you'll have an easy time transitioning in between the two games because they're really not that different. Perhaps the style that'll take the most getting used to is Brave because of the new guard point mechanic. It's still incredibly mobile, the best Blade Master weapon for applying a lot of elemental damage, and its high mobility will allow you to do some risky plays and kinda get in and get out without putting yourself in too much danger, especially with Brave and Adept. Because of the nature of the weapon and how fast it attacks, any style of dual blades will be really good at applying status or elemental damage. But the main thing we see is this. You want to go Striker if raw damage is your focus, you want to go Brave for elemental, and Adept is like right in the middle. I hope this helped you see the differences in your weapon in the two games, and what you can expect to see and be different when you give Generations Ultimate a try. Thank you for watching, and happy hunting.